Hey guys, how's it going? Pete Mercer here. So today I'm going to walk you through how to plan your own gym session or your workout and take you through the components of it. So it's going to be split into three parts. We're going to have our warm-up, our main component and our cool-down, just when you think I didn't have enough to say about warming up. Okay, so let's get to it. So to do a proper warm-up, what does the warm-up consist of? Well, the aim is to ready our cardiovascular, respiratory and neuromuscular systems for activity, and we do this by raising the pulse rate, our body temperature, mobilizing our major joints and stretching the muscles in an appropriate way. So this basically prepares the body for activity. So what we want to do is utilize all the major muscle groups in rhythmic activity. This will increase our blood flow, elasticity of the muscle tissue and allow for more oxygen to be carried into the working muscles. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to start off with a warm-up CV or cardiovascular exercise. So you might think back in the other one I was talking about all the stretching and stuff, and then we're going to start off with a nice cardiovascular exercise. So what we want to do is obviously one, we're incorporating the whole body, so we want to do something that we're standing, so we can actually utilize the whole body. I recommend doing this on a treadmill. Other things you could do are things like a cross trainer, and we're going to avoid exercises where we're sitting down like the bike and the rower, and we'll save that for later. So once you're on your treadmill, how are we going to approach our warm-up? Well, we're going to use the RPE scale, or our rate of perceived exertion. So this goes from a scale of 1 to 10. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off our exercise at an RPE of 1. It's going to last for 5 minutes, and we want to finish at an RPE of 6. So that's basically when we're kind of in that middle of the range of intensity on a scale of 1 to 10, when you feel pretty good, pretty warmed up. You could do that for quite a while, and that's when we're going to get our body temperature and our muscles lubricated to a correct point. So I would recommend going somewhere along the lines of an RPE from 1 to 3 for 2 minutes, then an RPE of 3 to 5 for 2 minutes, and then 5 to 6 for a further 1 minute. So that's going to kind of get us a nice broad spectrum. That's going to begin us on our aerobic curve. So basically the workout, the entire thing will be an aerobic curve which goes like this, but even the little parts of it. So our warm-up is going to begin the aerobic curve, which starts off neutral and then it's going to gradually climb to here, which is our RPE of 6. So once we've done our warm-up CV, we're now going to do some warm-up stretching. Now you might think, well, that's counterproductive, because if you're increasing your body temperature and your heart rate by doing cardio, surely if you're doing stretching, that's going to reduce your heart rate and then you're going to have to bring it up again to do exercise. That doesn't make sense. Wrong, because we're going to do dynamic stretching. And dynamic stretching will actually be able to maintain your body temperature and your pulse rate to that of staying around your RPE of 6 for the warm-up phase of our exercise. So we're going to do some dynamic stretches. So I would recommend doing 3 exercises. Again, we want to try and encompass the entire body, and we're going to do 1 set of each exercise for 10 repetitions. So the first one I'm going to put to you is doing a squat to stand or squat to toes with an overhead stretch. So basically what we want to do is just stay neutral, keep our feet shoulder width apart, facing forward, legs tracking our feet, knees tracking the feet, lead with the hips, hands by our sides. So we want to come down and do a squat. If you want to see these, just ask in the comments and I'll do a video of actually showing you the exercise, but it's pretty simple stuff. So just squat down until our legs are parallel to the ground, come back up again, and then we're going to go onto our toes and bring our arms up in a nice stretch. So this is obviously going to bring our legs, knees, hip into flexion on the way down, extension on the way up, and then we're going to bring back into flexion, our arms into extension. So it's going to get a nice full body thing. So we're going to do 10 repetitions of that. Then we're going to move on to a lunge with rotation, because obviously the movements we have basically are flexion, extension and rotation. So we want to encompass this also in our warm-up. So for this one, very simple. Leg forward, squat down, lead with your back leg, try and get 90-90 flexion with the legs. So it goes like, one goes like this and one goes like that, and that's going to give us a nice even 90-90 square look, and that's going to basically utilize our flexion there. And then once we're down at that position, we're going to rotate towards our forward facing leg. So let's say we put our left leg forward, squat down until we're in our lunge position, arms out, and we're going to rotate towards the leading leg, back again, other leg forward, down again, and rotate towards that leg. So that's going to add our rotational element, get again more flexion and that kind of thing. So next we're going to move on to a posterior step with an overhead stretch. So this is kind of the opposite of that. So what we're going to do is take one step back, feet firmly on the ground, make sure your heels don't come off, and we're going to extend overhead and stretch our back out and then come back down again. So this might also give us a little stretch to the pecs as well. So this is basically just take a step back, stretch overhead, and then again bring the shoulders into play with our rotation and some flexion in the back and things like that. And that's basically going to be our warm-up component of the workout. So that's going to maintain your RPE of about 6. It's not going to cool you down. You're not going to have to re-warm up again as long as you do dynamic stretching. There are plenty of other options that you can utilize when doing stretching in terms of dynamic stuff. You can just search it. There are an absolute ton out there. We're just trying to utilize the entire body, make sure we're hitting our flexion, our extension and our rotation. So I'll just cover that again very simply. The warm-up element is basically warm-up. Dead simple. So we're going to start with our CV, go for an RPE of 1, do an RPE of 6 over 5 minutes. Then we're going to do 3 exercises for warm-up stretching, which will be dynamic, and it will be 10 repetitions, 1 set each, and then that is us warmed up and we can move on to our main component. So stay tuned for the next one.